We'll be going over how to start your class in Zoom and how to use some of Zoom's basic features. The first way to open your classroom is through the Zoom application you have downloaded on your computer. You can double-click on the icon on your desktop to open up Zoom. When you open the application, you'll be prompted to enter your username and password. This will just be your email and your password that you have associated with your Zoom account. Feel free to click Keep Me Signed In if you're using a personal computer. Then click Sign In and you'll be redirected to the home page. At the top, you can see the tab that says Meetings, and when you click it, it'll show you a list of all your scheduled meetings. When you select the meeting you want to start, it'll give you the option to Start Meeting, and you can simply click it and it'll launch your Zoom call. After you click Start Meeting, it might take a second to load, but then it'll just pop up in the Zoom window. Before we go forward, I'm going to leave this call and show how you can do this exact same thing from inside of your browser. In your browser, type zoom.us into the URL bar. That's zoom.us and hit enter. This will take you to the Zoom main website. You can now click in the upper right hand corner where it says Sign In. This will take you to another sign in screen where you can put your email and password just like before. And once you're done, you can click the big blue sign in button. This will take you to your Zoom homepage within the browser. Again, on the left hand side, you'll see Meetings, and a list of your scheduled meetings will come up. When you hover over the meeting, you'll get the option to click Start. It'll open a new tab, and you'll just need to click Open Zoom, and it'll load for just a second before opening your Zoom call. And that's how you can open your Zoom call using your Zoom login within your web browser. There's one more way to open your Zoom call, and that'll be by finding the email sent by continuing study staff and following the link found there. Once you open your inbox, you'll look for the email from Continuing Studies. You'll open it, and it might not be typed up exactly like this, but you're going to want to look for this link right here. You can click the link, and it'll redirect you to this page where you'll click Open Zoom Meetings, just like the browser login, and it'll open up your Zoom meeting. And now we're ready to go over some of the basic features within Zoom. First, let's go over how to admit students from the waiting room. When a student tries to join your call, you'll get this little pop-up that says they've entered the room and are trying to join the call. You have the option to admit them right there, or click View. So we'll go ahead and just admit John Doe here by clicking the blue button. And now John Doe is able to join the call. When you have multiple students start to try to join the call, you'll have multiple students in the waiting room. Now you only have the option to view. When you click View, this opens your participant list. And you can see people who are in your call as well as people who are in the waiting room. Another way to view your participant list is on the icon on that bottom bar. When you click it, it'll open up your participant list again. We can see when we hover over the names of those in the waiting room, we can admit them individually, but it's much faster to just click Admit All and get the whole waiting room admitted into the room. Also in the participant list, you'll see the status of everyone's cameras and microphones. Right now, you can see that everybody has their camera off and everybody is muted. When you hover over a student's name, it'll give the option to ask them to unmute. This sends them a little message and they can either accept or decline to unmute. Debbie has unmuted, so her microphone has changed to a little gray icon instead of red, and I now have the option to mute her. This can be handy in case someone accidentally leaves their microphone on and some white noise is causing a disturbance in the call. When you right-click on a student's name in the participant list, you get more options. Similar to asking to unmute, you can ask them to turn their video on. And you can also rename them or, if necessary, remove a student from the call. Students have the ability to virtually raise their hand. This will pop up a little icon on their video tile, as well as next to their name in the participant list. As you can see, John Doe has raised his hand, and we can see it on his video tile and in the participant list. When you hover over his name in the participant list, you now have the option to lower hand. This is good for if you already addressed the question and the student has forgotten to put down their hand. Now we can close the participant list by clicking the little arrow in the upper left-hand corner of the participant window, and that'll close the participant list. The last thing we'll go over is how to use the chat. When someone sends a message to the chat, a little notification will pop up above the chat icon. You can click the chat icon, and it'll open the chat window. Here, you can see messages sent by everyone in the class, and it'll maintain a log of the chat throughout the class that will be erased when the call ends. This is a great place to send links that the whole class can click on to open on their own computer. To type up a message, you'll simply click in this bottom box in the chat window, and then type your message and hit enter when you're done. When you hit enter, the message will be sent to the class. Finally, within the chat, you are able to send files. This can be a PDF, images, and even video files. To send files, you'll click the little paper icon just above the text box, and this will open your file browser where you can select the file you'd like to send to the class. Now you can close the chat window simply by clicking the red X, and now you're ready to leave the Zoom call. In the bottom right-hand corner, there's a red button that says End. When you click it, you'll be given two options. You can end meeting for all, or leave the meeting. If you end meeting for all, this will close the room and kick everyone out and totally end the meeting. If you just leave the meeting, this will remove just you from the meeting and leave all the students still in the classroom. Usually, you'll just end meeting for all when class is over. If you have any questions, you can email scs@ringling.edu or call 941-309-5111. Thanks, and happy Zooming!